Welcome to Nutty Buddy Entertainment.
So let's now talk about Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
the multiverse of madness, Mom. Right. So that's coming out. You're gonna go see it Friday. I'm seeing it tomorrow night.
Yep. Yeah.
So let's just talk about some of the stuff we know is happening, and then we're gonna give our little bit of a wish list. So
Yeah.
what do you think so far of what we've seen of the trailers? What are you expecting from this movie?
It's gonna be hectic and all over the place. I think they're gonna be stuffing so much stuff into this. It's gonna be a movie that you're gonna have to at least see twice, definitely, just because there's gonna be a lot on screen happening and a lot of connections that you'll probably miss the first time. But it's gonna be good. I'm a little worried that they're gonna try to cram too much into it.
Yeah, so that's one of the first things when I found out it was a 2 hour and 6 minute movie. I was like, that's
Wait, what?
yeah,
I didn't realize that.
it's 2 hours and 6 minutes, I think it said.
You sure it's not 3 hours and 6 minutes?
No, it's 2 hours and 6 minutes. I'm 90% sure. So when you think about how No Way Home was 2 hours and 37 minutes, I mean, that concerns me, because that means they're introducing, we know for sure, American Chavez.
Yep.
They're introducing the Illuminati and all this other stuff.
They're reintroducing Wanda into it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a lot to put in a 2 hour and 6 minute movie. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to go. I'm a little worried it's going to be fast and a little bit messy, because there's going to be so much to go through.
I didn't realize that until you said it. And yeah, my first thing on here is, I'm hoping that it's coherent and it fit into what's going on, because, the premise of this seems to be like Doctor Strange having these dreams and something's happening in it, and he's trying to figure that out. But yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. But I'm with you. I'm just hoping that it's not overly. I hope it does a good job. We'll wait and see. I mean, Marvel has been up and down, in my opinion, lately. So maybe this will be one of their ups. Let's see. Obviously the Illuminati is going to be very interesting. The characters they introduce, we know, that have been in MCU properties, or I should say Marvel properties, not just MCU, but Marvel properties before, including What If and some Fox movies, right? We know that Professor X is in it, which sort of makes sense, because he's like the one person I feel like that can fight Scarlet Witch,
Yeah, true. But I don't know. I think we're gonna get different versions of Wanda, but I don't think Wanda's gonna be like the main bad for this.
Oh, don't tell me that. You're taking right off my wish list. I got a wish list.
Sorry.
No, don't do that.
I still feel like Strange is gonna be the main bad. Because even with in the teaser, there was a line that, which version, we'll see which version of Strange you are or something. So
okay, I see what you're saying.
Which might be a spoiler with like What If series, he went too far, and we'll see if somehow Strange is going too far in this.
Yeah, she had another line. I'm trying to think of what it was. I was trying to look it up here, where she's like, when you use your powers, you're a hero, but when I use my powers, I'm a villain, or something like that.
Yeah, that's not fair. She says,
yeah.
That doesn't seem fair. Yeah.
Which I tell people, like, because some people got upset about that, like, a very minor group, but like, realize that it isn't an unreliable narrator. Like, she's the one saying it. She's probably feeling like a victim a little bit. So she feels like it's unfair, where, like, when you think of when Doctor Strange has used his powers to mess things up, it's usually to help other people, where Wanda, when she used her powers, she was using it for sort of a selfish reason and enslaved a bunch of people.
Well, even so with the Accord, she kind of was what brought those about with her using her powers and then killing those people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So maybe I don't know, maybe if she's referring to that, I can see what she's saying, because she did technically like kill people, but she was trying to do a good thing. And it's the same thing that Strange has been doing, unfortunately, too. But
Yeah, no, I get that. I think though this, because I remember Feige came out and said that this is basically like between WandaVision, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Multiverse of Madness. It's almost like a 3-part series is sort of how he describes, especially. And I think he said this before the pandemic, so obviously a lot changed, so something could have changed. But so this is sort of connected to WandaVision. So I think she's talking about her enslavement of the town, which, I was thinking about this because, a lot of people kind of give her a pass, right? Because she didn't know how to use her powers.
Yeah.
And it's true, she didn't. But once she learned that she was doing what she was doing, she didn't try to figure it out. And the fact she figured it out on her own and didn't have someone help her to figure it out showed me that she could have figured it out, but she chose not to. So it kind of makes her look worse than if somebody would have came and actually helped her use her powers.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm really excited to see it. Tomorrow night can't come fast enough, and so I'm really excited.
Did you have on your list you're hoping that mutants get introduced as well? Or
we're gonna go over our wish list.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do that. I just want anything else about the credits or the Illuminati or the villains or
no, you just put a real damper on me saying that this was 2 hours and 6 minutes.
I know, man, but I gotta let you know now. Wouldn't you got mad if you got to the movie theater and then it's over and you're like, really, it's done now?
Dude, I totally.
I did see online though today that Sam Raimi did say there's like a 3-hour cut. His original cut was 3 hours.
Really?
Which I'm just
surprising.
I don't know why Marvel. I don't get it. It's not,
how long was Eternals?
Too long.
It was almost 3 hours.
It was.
And you're telling me you can't give Doctor Strange almost 3 hours?
I'm with you.
Come on.
I'm with you. And the other thing really interesting that I was going to talk to you about is I don't feel like Marvel fans, or maybe it's just because it's who Spider-Man is, but like not. So we bought tickets, I think last Tuesday or whatever, right? Like for the movie tonight. And it might have been before that. But anyway, point being is when we bought them, there was a ton of seats still left.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, the ones that for the movie theater I was going to, they were pretty much sold out the opening day. And the reason I'm going on Friday is because unless I went at like 9 or 10 o'clock, those were still pretty open. But the earlier showings from like 3 to 6 or 7 were pretty full. So.
Okay. Yeah. So the ones we're going to opening night, it was pretty wide open. We got really good seats. And
oh, really?
Like I don't know about you, but like with Spider-Man No Way Home, we had to go the night of the ticket release. We purchased our tickets, and it was a good thing because like the next couple days they sold out.
Yeah, I know.
So it must be like a character thing, or we talked a little bit about the MCU. Maybe people are fatigued about it or whatever, or have fatigue towards it or whatever. But I just feel like not as much people are hyped about this movie as they were with No Way Home.
Also I feel like Spider-Man is kind of it's more towards like a younger demographic. So I think that kind of helps them as well as wasn't it like on during like Christmas break too or something? So that might have helped as well for it. I think more the younger demographic is you're gonna get a lot more people to see Spider-Man than this one.
Well, also you'll probably, even with the nostalgia, that will get some older fans, like the Tobey Maguire
Yeah,
fans and
yeah.
stuff like that. The other thing that kind of made me think that maybe there's not as much uh pop with this movie is Kevin Feige came out and said that he was upset that they revealed as much in the trailers that they did.
Yeah. And now I usually try to keep away from trailers, but this one I kind of was like, well, we're going to talk about it, so I'll watch the trailers. And now this is irritating me even more because especially like the Illuminati thing, it's like I know what it is now. I don't know exactly who all of the people in it is, but like that would have been cool just to see in the theaters, especially if it's only 2 hours long. I'm like, we got all the like major hit points in the trailer, I'm assuming. Like,
Yeah, so my theory is, because either to release a trailer, I gotta imagine Kevin Feige gets the last say in that, or
I don't
people
know.
ignored him. But if they ignored him, then there's a reason. There's a reason he either allowed it, or a reason they ignored him, and it could be because maybe they aren't getting as much pop as they thought they would with this movie. That's just a theory I
Oh,
have.
yeah,
You know,
that's true. Yeah.
like they put cameos in there because they're like, oh, people aren't like as excited about this, so let's throw the word Illuminati in there. Let's show what Patrick Stewart is in the movie, and people are going to go want to see it. They didn't have to do that with Spider-Man so much, right? Like,
No, I mean, it got as many tickets, with them CGIing out, Tobey
mm-hmm.
Maguire and Andrew Garfield. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so just okay, let's get into our wish list then.
Okay.
Enough talk about what we're hoping. Let's get into what we're hoping for. Enough talk about the other stuff. What's one of your first wish that we get in this movie?
I'd mentioned it before, but I want it to be coherent and fitting into what is going on. So even what we've seen with Wong in the trailers, it seems like I don't know if it has something to do with Shang-Chi as well, because like the place that they're at and protecting, it almost looks like that kind of like realm or whatever where his
Oh,
family was from, especially with like the ox that's like standing up, kind of thing. It reminded me of those like lions and creatures that were in that realm as well.
you're
So
right.
I wonder if because also Shang-Chi left with Wong, I believe. So maybe he's helping. It'd be pretty cool if he can come into this as well. But yeah, I want it to be coherent and we can get some sort of tie-in to what we've had going on with it as well.
I like that. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, definitely the connecting parts though, right? Like, let's
Mhm.
not make it too exhausting, like where
Yeah.
we have to think too hard about it. Not that we hate thinking, but
Yeah.
let's yeah, okay, yeah, connect the dots. Let's do that.
Yeah,
um
exactly.
I was thinking, I think I told you this last week. Did I tell you about the like the 5 universe thing?
I believe so. Remind me though.
Okay.
That's vaguely, yeah, familiar.
So it's sort of a spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler. But there's supposed to be like, so fast forward 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. But at the end of the movie, it's a very, very loose rumor, but it's like supposed to have 5 universes open and they're like all connected, like the
Mm.
multiverse at the end of the movie, basically. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we find out that the Eternals was one of those universes and it wasn't actually connected to the MCU until after the Multiverse of Madness, and then all the plot holes that it created doesn't even count anymore?
Oh, that would be amazing.
Okay, that wasn't one of my wish lists, but I thought of
Yeah.
that. I was like, oh, that I would be okay with that. Then
Yeah.
I can kind of like Eternals a little better. Um, my first wish list: Ralph Boner. Please, please, please let that be Quicksilver. Okay, if you
Okay.
retcon it, okay, and you tell me that the entire time it was Quicksilver, that Ralph Boner was part of like who Wanda, because she basically changed everyone's reality in that town, and
Hmm.
he was just one of those people that they made an actor.
Yeah.
um I would love it, because there's still some questions in WandaVision. Like, for instance, why did the siren go off when he entered? Like when he shows up, it's like, well, the siren that shows that somebody enters a hex, all that stuff. Please, please, please bring Ralph Boner to it and make him Peter Maximoff from the X-Men universe. That would be awesome. That's.
Are you thinking that we'll see him in this?
I think so.
Okay, interesting.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to find out that she pulled him from the multiverse.
Okay.
Which was my original theory when we saw him.
Yeah. I wonder also if White Vision will show up.
I would imagine that could be it. I think there's still going to be, like, I know like the trailers kind of spoiled a lot, but I do think there'll be more cameos too.
Yeah.
Like more people that were like, oh my God, I can't believe he showed up.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. What's your second wish?
My second wish is mutants. Hopefully they'll tie that in, but I'm very reluctant on that because it's only 2 hours long.
Okay, so that was my second as well. You had opportunities to bring mutants into the MCU seamlessly with the Hex and with the Thanos snap and then the Tony snap, whatever, so this is your opportunity. Bring mutants into the MCU, please. It's about time. Yeah, I'm with you there. Okay, number 1. What's your last one?
I'm actually kind of hoping that they will start to get away from the multiverse. And somehow this will be the tipping point with the multiverse, and they're going to try to figure out how to, stop all of the meldings of like the universes and stuff like that. Just because, at a certain point we've got to get away, because if everything's just in infinite dimensions and there's always a different possibility of what's going to happen, then like nothing's ever set in stone. We can change the future no matter what happens in this reality. So
yeah, that's why I wouldn't mind if they just narrowed it down to 5, just because then it has rules, right? Like then there's rules into those 5. Like you can't, like other possibilities, like maybe all 5 universes, all their Tonys died, so we can't have Robert Downey Jr. come back, even though I'd love to see him again.
Yeah,
because he's such a good Iron Man, it just kind of cheapens his sacrifice, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
The other part of, if there's 5 universes, that could also lead into the Council of Kangs. Like there's 5 different Kangs in the Council of Kangs, and each Kang runs one of the 5 universes, which would be kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know if you'll get that one. Is all I'm going to tell you. Don't get your hopes up on that.
I know.
Okay.
I'm assuming it once we get to Ant-Man Quantum Realm or something. Okay. Maybe then they'll start to, dismantle the multiverse or something like that. But yeah, I'm just it leaves too much open.
I know, I'm with you because it's like, hey, we made a really bad Taskmaster, but guess what? We can go back in the multiverse and get the right Taskmaster for you. So don't worry or sweat it. It's like, no, I don't need that. I just need a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, my last one is I hope Wanda ends up the next big villain in the MCU in the rest of the phase. That's what I really hope. She would be the perfect villain. We all sympathize with her plight. She would be, like we've been talking about, like we want a Thanos type level threat. Well, here we have it. That's it. She signed on, I think, for 7 more movies, 7 more properties or something like that. So I'm just saying it would be really cool if she's the perfect villain. If she became the villain, and that's who the Avengers and all these guys have to figure out how to take out, because she would be a hard villain to take out.
Yeah. I don't know. I think she's gonna be riding the line. I think she's going to step away from anything to do with the Avengers, but she's just gonna ride the line of doing her own thing, and then as well as like, be kind of half good, half bad. Who knows? She'll probably team up with somebody who doesn't have like good ulterior motives. But yeah, I don't know. Going full villain with her would be heavy.
I would love it though, because that's partly what she did in, I guess the what's it called? House of M, right? Like she basically makes her own reality, and she's kind of the villain that they have to figure out how to kill. So, I mean, I'm just saying it would be so cool to see her as the villain. I wonder, I don't know if Marvel's that brave. I think because a lot of fans love her and they'd have to, but I'm just like, that's why she'd be a perfect villain, is because we would be so conflicted of like, should we root for her? What, but anyway. Okay, man, anything else with Doctor Strange?
No, looking forward to it, and I'll get home early since it's only 2 hours.
Yeah, you'll be home about 10 o'clock, probably before that. For everybody, thanks so much for listening to Brian and I talk about what we're looking forward to the most when it comes to Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. We're really excited about that movie. We're both going to go see it this weekend. I hope you guys all get an opportunity to see it. And don't worry, we will discuss it later on next week. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below what you're looking forward to the most of this movie, about this movie. That's the right way of saying it. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys soon.